Hello guys, from Plant Reviews, today 28th of June and early summer, and I'll talk now about lilies pollination. This is a very simple process indeed. I rapidly pollinated a couple of lilies during the video on Asiatic lilies I shot this morning. Today I'll talk a little bit more about these plants. The lily flower is quite a simple flower to talk about. The flowers are composed of 3 petals and 3 sepals. The 3 petals are the one closest to the stem, so you can see this one here, this one here, and this one here. These 3 are the sepals, while the petals, also 3, are the ones a little bit more distant from the main flower stem. In the center of the lily you find the stamens, 6 stamens in the most lilies in species and the most of the hybrids as well, terminating with the anthers that contains the pollen, that basically contains the genetic material from what will be the pollen parent, or so to say the father. While in the center of the flower there is this projection, only one, terminating in this rounded area, and this is called the stigma. This is the female part of the lily. The lilies are a hermaphrodite plant, so each lily is both male and female. Only exception are for some double-flowered lilies that basically have been selected not to produce anthers, so they do not have pollen or any, so they lack the male genetic material to pass on, and they have only this central stigma. So this is basically a female flower, even if their ancestors are all hermaphrodites anyway. So for breeding this one, the Scooby-Doo lily, you can breed it only as a mother, like as a pod parent. That would be the female parent ones, but the one basically developing the seeds. What I will show you, I would like to basically, when you hybridize different kind of lilies, it's always nice to try to enjoy new colors. You basically want an aim. So what I decided to do is to breed this Lilium pumilum with, I will take the anthers from the Lilium pumilum with my tweezers, if I'm able to do it with this wind. I'm sorry, because I have only one hand available, as with the other hand I am obviously holding the mobile. Okay, so I just take this anther. As you can see, it is orange. I'm not sure if I can focus. Hopefully yes, not really. Okay, better I put it close. So this is a lily called Hotel California. This is an Asiatic lily, and the Lilium pumilum is one of the ancestors of the hybrids, of some hybrids that are in the group of Asiatic lilies. So what I will do, I will basically, oh, I lost my anther, so I'll take another one. And now you can see, I hope you can see me spreading the pollen on the stigma. As you can see, it is now orange from mostly green. I will put some more pollen just to ensure that it is most fertile. I lost again my anther. And I'm taking another one. So basically I repeat the process until I'm pretty sure I pollinate the flower. I go on the stigma of this other flower. Okay, I'm just trying to focus. Yeah, should be on focus hopefully. Okay, I lost my anther, but I have so much pollen on the tweezers that actually I can use the tweezers to spread the pollen. And as you can see, the anther is now fully orange because of the pollen of the pumilum. What I wanted also to do is cross the pumilum with another completely different group of lilies. That is a trumpet lily, that is the African Queen. So I'll take this anther here. When you hybridize lilies, is always recommendable to hybridize it. You have more chances of success with lilies that belong to the same group, so Asiatic and Asiatic, Orientals and Orientals, or trumpets and trumpets. However, I'm very curious to try this hybridization between the pumilum and the African Queen, because the African Queen is a really tall trumpet lily, absolutely gorgeous, and the pumilum is a pretty small species but with incredibly beautiful and bright red flowers, and both are fragrant. So my point would be trying to combine the very bright colors of the pumilum, because the African Queen is quite soft orange, as you can see. I would like it much more colorful with the height of the African Queen, because as you can see, I'll show you the difference in the size of the plants. This is the pumilum, and look at the African Queen, how towering it is in comparison to the pumilum. So you can definitely see the reason why I'm trying to obtain that. And now I continue to spread the pollen on the stigma of the plant, and I decided to do it on a pretty windy day that is not really recommendable. I spread most of it on the stigma. As you can see now, the stigma is pretty orange. I'll show you. You can actually see better here, I think. Yeah, you see the orange stigma fully covered of orange pollen, while you can see the difference obviously with this stigma that is has not been pollinated. Once the pollination has been completed, the plants should develop, if you are lucky, a seed pod. And I have here a Lilium pumilum that I pollinated a couple of weeks ago, and I self-pollinated because it was the only Lilium in bloom. And as you can see, the lilies, this lily is already developing the seed pod. What happened in lilies is that you can still see an old anther here, obviously unused, and the petals. The lily will lose the petal, while the stigma will increase in size, becoming progressively oblong and green first. However, at maturity you will see that the seed pod will change color. The seed pods need usually about 3 months to develop. Yeah, usually I harvest them, now it's in June, I harvest them usually in October or November. So actually, yeah, a bit more. I would say 3 to 5 months. The most important is to get the seed pod when is almost splitting. In this way you are sure that the seeds are mature. Do it when they are almost splitting, because if obviously they start splitting, the seed pods will obviously release the seeds out, and the seeds are very light. They just go away with the slightest touch of wind, as you can see. So it's very important you keep you monitor the seed pods developing on the plant. So I'll keep you updated with my crosses. I decided to cross the African Queen only with a pumilum this year. The African Queen is a very easy plant to get seeds from. This, I think this is the most fertile plant. I always pollinate it every year. It's 3 years I grow it, and it grows stronger every year. Most people suggest to cut the flowers once blooming in lilies, so they can actually store more energies in the bulbs. I'm not too sure if I would have cut the flowers in the African Queen if it would have grown even bigger. However, 3 years ago developed only 1 stem. 2 years ago, last year developed 2 stems, and this year, as you can see, I have 3 huge stems of the African Queen. It's really a stunner, this kind of lily. I will make a video soon about the African Queen. In the meantime, I'll keep pollinating the African Queen with the pumilum, because I'm really curious of the result combining the 2 species together. I hope that they are that the pollination will be successful, and hopefully I'll keep you updated in next videos. Thank you very much, and if you like the video, it would be great if you give a thumbs up, and you would subscribe to my channel. If you didn't like the video, would be obviously please give a negative comment and tell me. I'm very curious to know how I could do to improve my next videos. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.